Ice Cube, because Ice Cube has come out and given everybody some brutal truth. Sorry, Angel Reese, the $5 million offer was only for Caitlin Clark.
Personal, but it was business. That's all it is, business. Y'all gonna make it personal though.
Angel Reese in complete meltdown. After major sponsorships got canceled, Angel Reese has gone into full-blown meltdown mode after multiple major sponsorships started backing away and the fallout is loud. From Ice Cube's public rejection to fan whispers turning into full-blown criticism, the Bayou Barbie just hit a branding brick wall. And the worst part? It all started when Caitlin Clark took over her spotlight and her city.
What happened to Miss Angel Reese? She's all in Indiana during All-Star and her Reebok campaign, come to your trap, take over your trap.
They thought Angel Reese was the next face of the WNBA. The brand queen, the fan magnet, the marketing goldmine. But just like that, the tide turned. The headlines started shifting. The whispers from inside the industry got louder. And now, we're watching the fallout happen in real time. Sponsorships that once lined up around the block, quietly vanishing.
For Ice Cube, they're about to come and get Ice Cube. We know how this works. It won't be long.
Behind closed doors, things have gotten tense. Multiple major campaigns that were tied to Angel, some already in development, have been shelved, some indefinitely. Others just flat out scrapped. Agencies are talking, they're looking at the numbers, the engagement, the ROI. And you know what they're saying? We're not sure she's worth the bet anymore. And you know who lit the match that sparked this PR wildfire? Ice Cube.
So, Ice Cube, you see the headline from TMZ. Sorry, Angel Reese, the $5 million offer was only for Caitlin Clark.
It only took one brutally honest interview with TMZ. Just a few words, but the impact was nuclear. They didn't tell us the same thing about Angel Reese. That's what Cube said when asked why his Big Three league offered Caitlin Clark, and only Caitlin Clark, a $5 million deal. Not Angel, not anyone else. Just Clark. Why? Because the sponsors said Caitlin could unlock millions. Angel? Not so much.
This is confirmation from the people that want to pay the money. Sponsors.
Cube laid it out plain. I'm not in the business of losing money. And there it was, the confirmation that hit harder than any headline. If Cube, someone with street credibility and business sense, says she's not worth it, why would a corporate sponsor risk it?
TMZ Sports caught up with Ice Cube himself at LAX this week. And the Big Three honcho said that there will be no deal put in front of Angel Reese anytime soon.
Let's be real. This isn't just about a lost deal, it's about perception. And perception is currency. The second those comments dropped, execs started reevaluating everything. You could practically hear the phone calls. Hey, are we sure we're going forward with that Angel Reese rollout next quarter? One by one, the enthusiasm faded. Not because Angel isn't talented, but because the numbers don't back the hype.
They didn't tell us the same thing about Angel Reese.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark? Different story. When the Big Three threw her a $5 million offer, it wasn't a gamble. It was calculated. They knew she could bring in crowds, attention, dollars. For just 10 games, 8 regular season, and 2 playoffs. That's $500K a game. That's LeBron-level ROI. That's star power sponsors are begging for. Now contrast that with Angel Reese. No offer, no conversation, no negotiation, nothing. And for fans who bought into the it girl narrative, that was a hard pill to swallow because this wasn't Twitter noise. This was money talking, loudly.
Caitlin Clark went to Chicago and took the city over. It looked like she took the city over. CC with MJ. CC get treated like MJ in the rack. Oh my God.
And here's where it really stings. This happened while Caitlin Clark was literally taking over Chicago. Angel City, her turf. While Reese's Reebok trap campaign was fading in the rearview, Clark was being mobbed by crowds like she was MJ in his prime. People running to her, screaming her name, lining up for hours to get autographs. This wasn't staged, this wasn't promo, this was real. The commentary online said it best. Caitlin Clark came to her trap and took it, period.
Wow, I'm not sure any other single, outside of just the pure numbers that we keep showing people, literal numbers.
So now Angel's facing a brutal reality. The hype that carried her into the league, it's no longer enough. Because the moment sponsors started comparing real numbers, real influence, and real marketability, the comparison didn't favor her. It favored Caitlin Clark. Every time.
Gotta understand your place sometime. Look, they talking about Caitlin Clark took over Angel Reese's trap. See, this is why you don't need to keep trying to take shots at her. She took the city over.
That's the danger of over-branding before outperforming. That's the trap of believing followers equal dollars. And now, as the deals dry up and the offers stop coming in, the meltdown begins. Not loud, not public, but slow, quiet, painful. And the most uncomfortable part? Ice Cube didn't say anything malicious. He said the truth. And that truth is echoed by the people with the checkbooks.
Caitlin Clark took over Chicago. She signed autographs for hours. This wasn't no extras that was paid to come stand in the scene. No, these were real people trying to get autographs.
With all new WWE merchandise, Sky jerseys, tees, and more, we've got something for everyone.
Angel Reese was supposed to be the main attraction, but now she's the cautionary tale. Let's just say this. When Caitlin Clark pulled up to Chicago, she didn't just arrive, she took over. We're talking full-blown fan stampede energy. And if you're wondering whose city it was supposed to be, well, all fingers pointed to Angel Reese. But what started as her trap quickly turned into Caitlin's coronation. They said it loud, they said it online, and they said it in the streets. Caitlin Clark took over Angel Reese's trap. Not just figuratively, literally. The streets of Chicago were overflowing with people screaming her name, waving jerseys, chasing her like she was the second coming of Michael Jordan.
In Chicago, the queen of the rack. The biggest Barbie.
Because what Caitlin Clark did in Chicago wasn't just about basketball, it was about cultural takeover. She was embraced by the city, the crowd, the energy. The memes even crowned her the queen of the rack. That's when the perception game changed. Angel had the swagger, the slogans, the Reebok deal. But Caitlin, she had the people. And the people don't lie.
I mean, outside of the fact you can't even get half the amount of people inside of LSU arena.
But here's where things got even messier. Just as the buzz around CC exploded, Angel Reese started disappearing. Nationally televised game, she was questionable. Next big matchup, still day-to-day. And yes, back injuries are no joke. But fans, being fans, started digging, started speculating, started asking if she was really too hurt to play, or just too smart to risk the direct comparison.
I don't know how you could ever imagine, like, how can you compete with this?
Because if Caitlin was out there filling arenas and Reese was sitting while ratings dropped, the contrast would be painfully obvious. Some fans claim she didn't want to be visibly outdrawn on live TV. Others said her camp knew what was coming and told her to lay low. And honestly, with how social media runs with these stories, it's not even that far-fetched.
Angel Reese was not going to be able to bring in the amount of eyes for the sponsors and for the league for him to justify that offer.
Even Ice Cube's team reportedly had already flagged engagement drop-offs on Angel's name before she missed these games. Less hype, less traction, less spark. That's the stuff sponsors look at. And in business, that's a red flag the size of a WNBA arena.
Really get to be a dog and get to that platform where you get to bring a national title, the first one back to LSU, without having that type of mentality, that chip on your shoulder. And I feel like we have to let these young women be unapologetically themselves.
See, this is where the numbers come in. And numbers don't lie. Let's talk facts. Caitlin Clark's jersey sales? Top of the charts. Attendance when she plays? Sellouts? TV ratings? double or triple what the WNBA was pulling last season. And we're not just talking Indiana Fever home games, we're talking road games. She's the draw everywhere.
You cannot measure up. You don't have as many followers you have on Instagram. That is great. I will not take away from the fact that you are one of the bigger brands in the WNBA. You are a star in your own right, but you are not Caitlin Clark. It's a difference.
Angel Reese, still a name, still a star, but let's not pretend the stats are close. Her jersey sales are solid, but not history-making. LSU couldn't even fill half its home arena after winning the national title. And without the social media drama and viral beefs, her presence doesn't move the needle the same way.
So Ice Cube's literally saying, we sat down, looked at the actual figures, and the draw wasn't there. The fever wasn't there. Oh, no pun intended.
That's why the same quote keeps floating around from both the sports YouTubers and business insiders alike. Men lie, women lie, but numbers don't. When it's time to cut the checks, sponsors want guarantees, not guesswork. And Caitlin Clark delivers. Period. So the question isn't whether Angel Reese has talent. She does. The question is whether the drama and the image are helping or holding her back. And after what we just saw in Chicago and what we heard from Ice Cube, that answer's starting to get loud.
Come on, just leave it alone, Angel. And this is why I'm saying you be making yourself look crazy, because in all actuality, there's no comparison between you guys.
Here's the part that's hitting Angel Reese harder than any screen in the paint. She's having a full-blown identity crisis. Not the fun rom-com kind where she finds herself and opens a bakery. No. This is the post-sponsorship media meltdown, everyone's talking kind. Because now, for the first time, people are starting to ask, who is Angel Reese without Caitlin Clark in the picture?
You need to stop trying to attach yourself to this girl at every turn, because she has officially come to your trap and taken over your trap.
And that's not just some shady rhetorical. That's the cultural critique coming straight from the sports world's front lines. You've got analysts, fans, even YouTubers saying it loud. Why does Angel attach herself to Caitlin at every turn? Every tweet, every quote, every headline. She's there, right in the middle. Not as a rival on the court, but as a shadow in the media cycle. One of the realest lines came from Keep the Vision, who broke it down perfectly. You good enough to stand on your own now? So why don't you? Boom, that's it. That's the entire issue. She's not some bench warmer chasing relevance. She's a WNBA starter with her own story to tell. But every time she brings Clark into the mix, every time she makes it a comparison game, she's basically admitting the spotlight's not enough unless Caitlin's in it too.
The business of losing money. So of course, Angel Reese couldn't get offered the 5 M's like Caitlin Clark.
Now here's where things get tricky, because brands, the ones with the money, don't love drama. They love predictability. They love consistency. And Angel, she's bringing fireworks when what they wanted was a steady glow. That Reebok partnership, it wasn't just a sneaker deal, it was a gamble, a full bet on persona over performance. They banked on her image, her social clout, her post-championship swagger. But now that the numbers ain't matching the noise, that bet's looking a little risky.
What should have been a massive, huge day for your sponsors and for your networks.
Sponsorships don't want viral one day and vanishing the next. They want stability, not side eyes and subtweets. So unless Angel starts building a brand that isn't glued to the back of Caitlin Clark's success, she's going to keep watching deals fumble before they even launch. But here's the thing, it's not over. Far from it.
But this is what happens when you continue to attach yourself and compare yourself to somebody rather than just doing your thing. Now you got people.
There's still a door wide open. If Angel Reese stops chasing comparison and starts chasing authenticity, she's got a shot at a serious comeback. The kind of redemption arc that lives on YouTube forever. Because let's not get it twisted. She's got the game. She's got the presence. She's got the personality. She just needs to stop trying to be the anti-Caitlin Clark and start being the best Angel Reese. Period. Now that brings us to the million-dollar question. Literally, what happens next? Is Angel going to come out and address the backlash, talk to the fans, own the chaos? Or is she going to go radio silent and just let the season play out? Because that silence is loud, especially after a string of canceled appearances, injury no-shows, and brand pullbacks.
Nobody can be honest. They have to say exactly what y'all want them to say. That's what it seems like.
So here's the strategy. If Angel wants that redemption arc, drop the noise. Drop the Trap Queen versus Barbie act. Start leaning into what's real. Let the game do the talking. Fans are tired of theatrics. They want hoopers, not hype machines. And right now, Caitlin Clark is eating because she brings both. Angel could too, if she stops trying to measure herself against someone she's not even racing.
Took over the city of Chicago, and this is the star power that Ice Cube was referring to. Every city, every state, anywhere in the world that she goes, it's gonna look like this.
Because the hard truth? Caitlin Clark isn't going anywhere. The league is now built around her. She's the face, the ratings, the ticket. That's not shade. That's just math. So either you find your own lane, or keep swerving into a collision you can't win. And let's be honest, Angel Reese could thrive in her own lane. She doesn't need to fight for Caitlin's shine. She just needs to stop running toward it like that's the only light in the room. The WNBA wants multiple stars, but they have to be distinct, not overlapping, not obsessive, different. So here's the final word, and it's not even a diss. It's just facts. You can't take over a trap if it was never yours to begin with. This whole meltdown, it's not just about a few lost sponsorships or a viral Ice Cube interview. This is about a public reckoning, a reset, a chance to realize that star power ain't about image, it's about impact. Caitlin Clark's effect is real, measurable, and undeniable. And Angel Reese, she's at a crossroads. Make sure to subscribe because star power pays and clout chasing fades.